Before I let you get on out of here, my very last question is an NBA question, but you'll love this. You know, we've been watching the Golden State Warriors struggle a little bit. And I know that Draymond's had a tough year because of how he started off with the whole Jordan Poole situation. But he owned up to it. He manned up to it. And I respect, you know how I feel about Draymond. And he manned up. And I think that his leadership will really, really shine as the season wanes because he understands so much is on the line, not just for the Golden State Warriors, the reigning defending champions, but also him in a contract year per se. But I'm watching him play defense. He's still up there. He's still making an impact. And I'm thinking about another player of yours, formerly at Michigan State, Jaren Jackson Jr. I know Memphis has been struggling. They got to get their act together, especially now that Kevin Durant has arrived in Phoenix and Denver's been playing the way that they've been playing. But I'm going to ask you this, Coach. I'm going to put you on the spot. Defensive player, defensive prowess. Who you going with? Is that Jaren Jackson Jr. who's prone to foul trouble, as Draymond pointed out? Or is it Draymond Green himself? Two of your players, I mean, they both swear by themselves as defensive aces. Who are you going with, Tom Izzo?
I thought you were my friend. I thought you were my friend. You know, the good news is I just talked to Jaren to wish him luck in the All-Star. Really proud of him. His mother is an incredible woman and dad, and they're so proud of him. But the only reason I'm still going with Draymond, because I'm afraid he'll kill me if I don't, to be honest with you.
You know, he would. He would. That's Draymond. He'll call up and say, Coach, I know you didn't say that publicly. I know you didn't say that to the world. You didn't do that to me, Coach. No, I know you didn't do that to me. That's what Draymond would do.
Jaren will give me a little reprieve, but I still fear Draymond, just like in those huddles back 15, 12 years ago. You know, I can tell you some stories about some huddles that would send you crazy, but I love them both. And I do think the Warriors get healthy, you know, but boy, the Phoenix now, you know, one of my former walk-ons bought the Phoenix Suns. I think, you know, that was a big addition for them. But Memphis has been injury too. There's been so many injuries in the NBA, Stephen A., that I think they'll all come back together in the next month. And when they do, I think you're going to see a lot of changes in the league standings. Who's going to win it? Boy, I don't know. I still have to say the Celtics maybe got the most experience and solid players and two great players.
Can't ignore Phoenix and Denver, though. Can't ignore Phoenix and Denver.
Not anymore. Not with him there. And Booker was a kid we recruited right till the end. And,
sensational.
And I love their point guard. You know, he just stirs the drink, man. So
yeah, CP3.
Yep.
No doubt about it. Coach, very, very last question on a somewhat serious note. I'll tell you this. When Draymond did that to Jordan Poole, he knows it was wrong. Mm-hmm. He admitted it. He owned up to it. And I give him a lot of credit for that. So I'm not here to condemn him in any way. I'm here to do the exact opposite. I actually think, I certainly wouldn't condone it. Certainly not giving the okay. But I actually think it's going to make him better. I actually think that it's going to make him, and it already has made him, a bit more introspective about how he has to really compose himself before he reacts. Because you know he was prone to a lot of technical fouls and being emotional with the referees, and he's still going to be that guy. But in a roundabout way, I certainly, again, don't want to even come across as condoning what transpired. And Draymond wouldn't either. And he wouldn't want us to. You know that. But I actually think that ultimately in the waning years of his career, I think it's going to help Draymond tremendously. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I think sometimes when you hit, not rock bottom, but when you hit bottom or something happens that really changes your outlook on life. And that was an interesting time for Draymond. I mean, I talked to him more than a few times and the people out there. And I know Jordan Poole recruited him a little bit, but he was from the same school as Jaren Jackson. So I spent time with Jordan. But, you know, the one thing I don't think people give Draymond enough credit for is he can seem crazy, but he's very, very intelligent. And
highly.
Really, really is. And, you know, man enough to admit when he made a mistake, but also I think man enough to start figuring out as we all get older, we all mature a little bit more. And I think you could be right. And I hope so, because I want him to finish on a strong note, because he's really had an incredible career. You think of where he started.
Four-time champion.
Yeah. Yeah, he really has. And I think the there's going to be a lot ahead for Draymond, and maybe that helped give him a different perspective on things, like you said. So I'd have to agree with you, which I do most of the time. I'm going to start thinking about a few things I don't agree with you on, and I'm going to call you on them. How's that?
There you go. I think Draymond's got a chance to end up staying in Golden State because I think that the level of productivity and maturity that they expected from the Kumingas of the world and others hasn't necessarily arrived yet, and they already moved on from Jonathan Wiseman. So I think that if you're the Golden State Warriors, how can you move on from Draymond Green in light of the fact that other dudes haven't seemed ready to step up? But that's just me.
Well,
that's just me, Coach.
You see it all the time. Great players don't win championships. It's great teams. And one thing that guy is, boy, he does have the ability to bring a team together. Sometimes it's in different ways. But yeah. I'm telling you, when it comes winning time in that tournament, as they start the playoffs, he just has a knack and the will to win that's special. And so I'm going to be anxious to see how it goes. And I'm sure somewhere, either there or, a couple of other places like Memphis or maybe now Phoenix, I'll get to see you on the sidelines like I do most of the time when our season's done and I get to visit the NBA.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Draymond certainly has learned from the best. He's learned from a man that's gone 682 and 277 over a span of 28 seasons, 71.1 winning percentage, 7 Final Fours, a national championship, one of the greatest coaches to have ever graced college basketball, the one and only Coach Tom Izzo from Michigan State. Thank you so much for your time, Coach. I really, really appreciate it, and I enjoyed the conversation. Thank you so much. All the best to everybody at Michigan State, by the way.
I appreciate you, man, and what you do for this country. So keep up the good work. I'll be watching.
Thanks a lot, buddy. We'll talk soon.